about a stigma, and we talked about, so we use terms like meditation and mindfulness. And I feel like Black folks, when we hear meditation, it just from personal experience and being in certain conversations, you hear people say, "What? That's this and that's that," and people immediately think possible spiritism and that realm. But if we were to help, if we were to say something, or if you could say something to kind of, I guess, help break one of those stigmas away as far as meditation, how can we, what would you give or offer to the folks to kind of to possibly help shift a perspective with that? Because when I think meditation, I think mindfulness and a practice within that that's repetitive, that meditative piece where you can, I guess, ruminate on something or have something repeat on your mind that does help you ground. So
so I can speak to the way that I do it. Like I don't do it to transcend to another reality or anything like that. Like I do it to really, like, a way that my dad calls it, because he's like, he knows that, you know, it could have a certain stigma or whatever. He used to, when I was struggling, even when I used to be struggling with the terminology, he just called it grounding or breathing exercises, because it really is focusing on your breath. Like, you just focus on your breath and you allow your thoughts to kind of pass you by, and you just focus on your breath. And when I do the guided meditations, when I'm talking someone through something, it's like, just listen to my voice, and just follow your breath. And it's really affirmations, honestly. It's like me talking about me just speaking love over somebody, right? And especially if I'm doing it based off of scripture, I'm just speaking that over them, and also helping them to ground. And so for me, what I really love when I learned how to do it was like, you have to, and so kind of, let me backtrack back to panic attacks. So with panic attacks, you don't feel safe in your body, and you just don't feel safe, and everything feels like a threat. And so for me, like, I needed to find a place where I felt safe internally, right? Because I felt like my body was fighting against me. And so for me, going inward, and like, something that the Headspace app teaches you is to, like, acknowledge a sound in the background, acknowledge something you're smelling, acknowledge something you might be hearing, but just, like, don't make too much note of it. Just, like, acknowledge that there are things outside of you, but that's not you, right? And that's a way to, like, create distance between yourself and the environment. And so you, like, kind of create that distance, like, okay, I hear this, I smell this, I can acknowledge these things, but I'm going to focus on me and myself inwardly. And once you do that, like, you can start to be like, then you can start to just think about that, like, on a broader scale of, like, okay, there may be something that comes across my lap, like an email, right? Or someone who tries to get into my life through a text message or a call. And it's like, hey, I can notice that, but I can keep it moving, and I don't have to respond to it. I do not have to respond to it. And so that is like a meditative practice where it's like, kind of like watching your reactions and your responses to things. And
like, you're having an outer body, like, wait, I'm recognizing this, but I don't have to give it energy, and you let it float on by.
Let it float on by. Yeah. And so, so they're like, and I can tailor my meditations to the way, like, what my clients or workshops participants may want. But, it's so for me, I knew, back to the panic attacks, I needed a safe space internally, because everything else was just, like, so scary. I needed to, like, realign with my body, realign with my spirit. And so going internally helped me, because I would get very overstimulated, and I still do get very overstimulated by loud noises or, like, bright lights. Like, I might put my eye mask on, and it's just a way to just, like, center myself. And I just didn't realize how much I needed that, because I never had learned that before, right?
I know.
And I credit my dad, honestly, to me even just deciding to do it, because he's been preaching about it for so long. I'm like, all right, let me see what this is all about, right? But I can understand, like, the stigma or what people may think it is, but it's just try it. You don't know nothing until you try it.
Just try it. Just try it. So
Yeah.
I came from one of those families who, when they would hear meditation, they would just like, wait, what's that?
Yeah.
And I was having anxiety attacks, and that's what led. Once when
Mhm.
COVID popped off, it was like, wait, is the sky falling? What is happening? What is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Anxiety, and I had never struggled with them before, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was just like,
It
why
came
can't I catch my breath? Why is my
came like a
body
flood.
tingling? And I'm
Yeah.
just like, wait, and hyper, like the
Mhm. Hyperventilating. Yeah.
full fledged. And so I said,
Mhm.
oh no, I have to figure this out. So she said to me, it's when you have anxiety attacks, it's something about something in your brain where your body forgets to breathe because your mind is going so quick. And so
So
then
fast. Yeah.
when your body finally realizes it's not getting enough air, now you're panicked.
Mhm.
Why am I not breathing? And
Yeah.
so she said, well, when you do that, she was like, you'll have to, I guess, redirect your thoughts to immediately go into like those breathing and
Mhm.
the grounding piece of it. The counting, that's how I
Yeah. Yes,
stay
that part.
focused.
Mhm.
So inhaling through your nose for a count of 4, holding it for a count, and then exhaling.
Exhaling.
And then I
Mhm.
love the body scans. Oh, girl, the body scans uh like they are like my favorite thing. And then, like you said, you can layer them and couple it with your favorite Bible scriptures or your favorite affirmations, whatever you want to do, and they really are life changing because
Life changing.
it quiets your thoughts. And like you
Mhm.
said, it'll then pass over into everyday life because you can say, oh, you can see that email that could possibly be upsetting. You're just like, nope, not going to do that.
Not today. Nope.
Not today. It
Yep.
really is life changing. But girl, we probably could talk about this forever.